my makeup tutorial, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you how I do my makeup and like the products that I use and little like tidbits here and there of stuff that I've learned that maybe you'll find helpful. First of all, get my hair out of the way with these adorable cat ears. Boom. So I'll be a cat from here on out. First, start with some primer. I use e.l.f. primer. It just helps your makeup stay on your face better, basically. It goes on more evenly. I'm gonna put some on my neck too. And then just kind of rub it in with your hands, clean hands. Also, before I started doing this, I washed my face too with, I use a cleanser and then a toner and then a moisturizer. Just want to start out fresh, clean. Sandra Bullock. Alright, we're primed. So primer, number one. Next you want to use foundation, or I use a CC cream, which is color correction cream by Mary Kay. When you're looking for your foundation, you can test it on your wrist. So just like rubbing it in, and if it blends well at the end of it, if it looks like a shade that you are satisfied with, if it blends well on your wrist by the time you like rub it all the way in, it's a good shade. So yeah, I'm just gonna start putting like little bits all over because you want to spread it like evenly across your entire face. You also want to like start light. You don't want to go too heavy. If it ends up not being enough, you can always add more later. But it's a pain to have too much on and have to take it all off and then reapply it. So start light. And then to blend this in, I use I guess this is like a foundation brush, but it's like a flat brush. It's supposed to make liquid foundations kind of look like a powder finish. And just blend it all over. I just prefer a really, wow, my phone's like falling there, huh? There we go. So I just prefer like a lighter look. I don't like it to look too cakey, so yeah, just a little bit. Looks pretty good. Next is concealer. When you're choosing a concealer, so I use Maybelline Fit Me. When you're choosing a concealer, you want to go a couple shades lighter than your foundation. I just put mine around my eyes. Some people will put it like straight down their nose and like kind of use it as like a highlighter or like on their chin. I really just use it on my eyes and any like dark spots that you want to cover up, like if you have acne spots that you want to cover up. So just the little spots like that. My skin's pretty clear right now, so it's not a lot right now. And then for this, I use a Beauty Blender sponge to blend it in. I've heard you're supposed to like get these wet and then squeeze them out to use them, but I haven't had any problems using it just dry. And you just like pat it around where you want it to be until you have an even spread that you're satisfied with. This is really like, you don't want to wipe with this one, you want to pat. And then yeah, just dab on the little spots that you want to conceal. Looking pretty good. Next, I use an oil mattifier. It's Mary Kay. I don't know what other like brands. This is the only oil mattifier I've ever used. But my nose and my forehead get really like shiny oily, so I just use this to kind of control it. And then yeah, I'm gonna use the Beauty Blender again to just like pat that in so I'm not like smearing the makeup that I already have on. Yeah, that's just some shine control there. Just to give like an even tone throughout. Next, I like to do my blush. I use a cream blush, Maybelline Cheek Heat, but you can also use like a powder blush, whatever you prefer. I just like the cream one so I can rub it in. I don't know. That's just my preference. And I focus it on like the apple of my cheek. And then I also kind of like use my blush as a contour as well. Up to like my temple, basically like point it up towards your temple. And then I go across my nose too to be extra cutesy. And then just rub it in. Just kind of like blend the edges so it's not such a harsh line. And yeah, just rub it in until you're satisfied with how heavy or light you want it. That looks good to me. It'll look a little less intense once we do like eye makeup and the rest of it, and especially lips if you want to do lips. So it kind of looks like a lot right now because it's like the only color on my face, but it'll like even out. Trust the process. Trust the process. So next, I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I use Maybelline Tattoo Studio. It's like a gel. You can use a little spoolie to brush out your eyebrow. Really want to, if you're going to use this, clear off the tip of it or it'll like go on too heavy. And then just really lightly brush it through your eyebrow. This is another one that like you want to apply it really light. You can always add more, but again, it's really a pain to have too much and to have to like take it off and redo it. It's pretty good. And then you can also use the spoolie again to like blend it if you get like, I got a little bit of like a splotch there, so I'm gonna use the spoolie to like blend it out. I'm also gonna Q-tip that motherfucker. I just accidentally added too much. Not perfect, but not bad. Move on to the other one. One thing that has really preserved my sanity since I've started doing my makeup, if you're doing like with your eyebrows or if you do eyeliner, and you like, in a perfect world we'd have it exactly the same on both sides, right? It just doesn't work out that way. But I just tell myself that they could be sisters, not twins. They could be sisters. They don't have to be twins. And I'm just gonna use the spoolie to like comb out the hairs and make sure they're all in place, basically, because this gel like hardens the hairs kind of so that they stay in place right where you want them. Yeah, not twins, sisters. And that's fine, nothing wrong with that. It's not gonna be perfect every time. Or probably any time if we're being real. I'm gonna try to do my eyeliner. I just bought some new eyeliner, Revlon Sharpline. It's like a felt tip pen. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna start with a wing. So I just did like a little rough line from the corner out. Then I just like sort of brought it in to my lid. I'm gonna fill it in. Cool, so fill it in, and then I've got like a little, I'm gonna try to fix the lines here a little bit. Cool. So this pen is dope. I'm gonna sort of point the corner a little more. Pretty. So now I'm gonna kind of fill in the rest of my lash line. I'm gonna use a Q-tip and some makeup remover wipes to kind of like adjust my line here. It's a little smudgy. I'm trying! So not super perfect. I'm gonna try to Q-tip and correct it again.
So, my current mental health is
Cool, so that helps a little bit.
so yeah, not doing great.
Not bad. I'm gonna try to do the other side now. Not bad. Pretty even, actually. I'm kind of impressed with myself here. This is the hard part, honestly, because my freaking eyelashes get in the way. I don't. I don't have advice for how to work around that. Just, it's hard. It's hard. I went a little further into the corner on this side than my other side, so I'm gonna try to even it out. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna try to fix this line here a little bit. Sisters, not twins. Sisters, not twins. It's not bad though. I'm pretty impressed with myself. This pen is cool. This pen is cool. I don't usually do my lips, but I guess I will this time. Just do. This is Milani Naturally Chic. It's like just. It's a pretty like neutral color. It's really just a little darker than my actual natural shade, so. Super picky, so I'm gonna use a Q-tip to adjust the edge here. Pretty! I guess I'll do my freckles. Okay, so for my freckles, I just use like a dark brown eyeshadow. actually. And then a really pointy brush, as like fine and pointed as you can find. And just wet it a little bit. We wet the brush a little bit, and then I have this, like, I scraped it up a little bit so that it's like powdery on the top. It's a little powdery on the top to pick up with the wet brush. And then just start putting freckles on. I always start on my nose and just really lightly. Don't worry too much about how dark it is when you first apply it, because we're gonna blend it out a little bit to make them look a little more natural. I try not to be too like methodical, I guess, about like where I'm placing them, just to give like a little more natural, because I don't want to make it look like a grid of freckles, you know, because freckles don't look like that. Yeah, I think that's as far as I'm gonna go with those. Usually I take them like all the way up, but I think I'm just gonna keep them on my cheek this time. Cute. And re-wet my brush again. Go up the forehead a little bit. I think that's good. Now I'm gonna blend them out so they look a little more natural. So, beauty blender, sponge, and just blot until they're a little faded to your liking. Yeah, so they're a little more faded now. Kind of erased some on my nose, so I'm gonna put some of those back. Cool. I think that's pretty good. Okay, next I'm gonna do my lashes. I use L'Oreal Telescopic. This stuff is awesome. I don't know how many layers you're supposed to do. I usually only do one, maybe two, because I don't like them to be super cakey, whack looking. Just start from the root and lightly brush out. You don't, it's just another thing, you don't want to put it on too heavy. Looks pretty good. And a little on the lower lashes too. Just a little bit. Really don't want to overdo it on the lower lashes. Just enough to make them appear. Nice. I think the only thing I have left is highlight, which is my favorite part. Alright, here's my highlighter. I use Wet n Wild highlighting powder. This is Blossom Glow. Super pretty. I just use a little brush like this for the middle parts. So I put it on the top of my nose here, like the top of the bridge of my nose, I guess. And then the tip of my nose. Kind of blend it out with your finger. And then I also like to put it on my Cupid's bow right here. Nice. And then I like to put a little on my chin right here too. Kind of blend this out with your finger too. And then the inside corner of my eyes. Go. And then I use an angled brush to get my eyebrow there with the highlighter as well. Go. And finally, a fan brush for the cheeks. The top of the cheekbones. You get the top of the cheekbones and your temple really right on the very top of it. Go. Here we go. I forgot to do one thing to kind of like set my lipstick. I use a translucent powder. And a translucent powder in a big powder brush. Tap it off so that it's not excessive, and just like a square of toilet paper. Boom, little translucent powder, so just a little bit on there so that it doesn't smear as easily onto like glasses or people that you kiss. Once you're all done, use a setting spray. I use NYX Matte Finish spray. Just close your eyes and spray it all over. Kind of like air dry it. And with that, we have our finished look.
We were just talking about the world and how it works. Boy, that sounds complicated. Do you have anything you want to
Pretty. Let me see your finished look when you do this. I'm so excited.
know about that, Sako?
Good luck. Mwah.